My name is Christina Ebersohl, and I'm a viola performance major at the College of Music here at PSU. And I went on a viola intensive performance program through Performing Arts Abroad in Florence, Italy. I had a lot of long conversations over Skype and email with the director of the program because I was the first blind student to ever be into any of their programs. So over in Europe, accessibility is not the same as it is here. So here we have the Disability Resource Center, and they take all of my books and convert them into Word documents for me, and my computer reads them to me. And in Italy, they had never experienced anything like that before. So it was talking with them and connecting them with the DRC so that they could set them up with the resources to do that. Another barrier was getting over there. How was I going to get to my apartment? And I can't read a map, so how am I going to get around in my classes? And they did everything that they could to help me. They had someone show me around the city, which it was right after I landed after a 15-hour flight, so I don't remember much of it. Florence is really hard to get around anyway. If you've never been there, it's not like our streets where, there's an intersection and the street keeps going after the intersection. There's an intersection and then you have to zigzag to the right and zigzag to the left and go down an alleyway, and then it changes street names, and suddenly you're in a big circle piazza and you have no idea what street is next, and that was complicated. So they would always try to give me directions with street names, which doesn't help me. Which didn't help any of the students over there anyway, because all the street names apparently are written in stone that's all worn off on the side of the buildings, and nobody can read them. So that was probably the hardest thing, was just trying to learn how to get around. But I found different coping ways. So there's a corner that I had to turn at to get to my schoolhouse for my Italian class. And it was always hard to find that corner. I always missed it until I realized that every morning that I was there was this little book stand that was always setting up their books, and it was always the same guy, and he's always singing these outrageous American pop songs in his Italian accent, just horribly out of tune every morning when I passed. And that's how I knew to turn there, because he was always singing Miley Cyrus. So I would just say, don't ever feel inhibited by the fact that you may have a disability. I'm blind, and I still went over there, and everybody apparently has this thought process that, especially Italians, that they're rude and they're mean. And honestly, they were the nicest people. I'm just proud that I went over there and I didn't get hit by a car, and I spoke Italian, and I studied really hard and practiced all the time. And it's really easy when you go over for a study abroad program to get distracted. My roommates had a tendency they went out and partied all the time and slept until noon, and I had class at 9 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon, and I wasn't going to do that. Or they would go out all weekend. They went to the Amalfi Coast, which sounds great, and if you have the time, the energy, that's great, but when you're doing a study abroad program, if you're doing it for credit and you're doing it for, trying to better yourself as a student or in your major, you also have to think, what am I here for? Yes, you should go out and explore and see the cities and do what you can, but don't forget that you're also there for an academic reason, because that's important.